In a previous video, I went over the contracts and colonisation system in the Verger sector, the starting area of Space Engineers 2, and I was really interested to see how they expanded these contracts in both difficulty and complexity as you went through the rest of the game. As Space Engineers 2 is in early access, only a couple of sectors currently have contracts, with more sectors being added every few weeks. So today we'll be looking at a handful more of them. Additionally, I've had an idea, not sure if it's a good or bad idea yet, that as there'll be lots of long sections of flying between contracts, for each contract I will answer a community question, taken from this community post here. We may do this again in the future if we cover the rest of the contracts, so if you want your question answered in the next video, please clearly label it with question in all caps at the beginning, and I will answer the most popular ones in the next video. We left off the last video arriving in the chemic sector, which you can see chemic in front of me, so let's have a look and see what contracts are available. So we have the contract block here, and if you open it up, we've got two contracts, Engineering, Asteroid Expedition, and Sabotage, Renegade Hideout. So I haven't done a Sabotage contract yet, so let's do this first. There is a Renegade hideout somewhere in the asteroid field. Locate and neutralize the hideout by getting rid of their power generation systems. Naturally, they don't have an antenna to broadcast their location, but we have information that their base is near an iron deposit, so it sounds like I'll have to find it as well. So contract accepted, and let's have a look. My ship's not on that landing pad. Right, active contract is, oh, it's just over there. I haven't actually been down to the surface of Chemic yet, so I hope our contracts take us down there as well. So can we see this contract? I don't see anything yet. It's not actually that far from their station. It's obviously worth noting that the contracts that are in the game currently are kind of temporary placeholder ones, as not all the systems are in the game, especially combat isn't in the game. There's iron there, so let's fly near that. So I don't know how much of these contracts will change in the future. I presume they will get a little bit more complex as more systems are added. Is it maybe inside the asteroid? Wait, I've just read it again. According to our research, there's an iron deposit close by, so use your drill to search possible entrances. Do I have to drill through here? Oh, wait. Is it the other iron deposit? Or is it this one? This is going to take forever if I do it with the hand drill. Right, so I'm back. You can't backpack build the drill as it requires compressors, which the suit can't make. So I had to go back to the old sector, go back to my base in the old sector, and use my assembler to manufacture some compressors so I could actually build a drill. I could have sworn I had one. I don't think this is the correct save, but I also couldn't find a save where I had a drill. So here we go. So I'm assuming if I drill through this iron deposit, perhaps there will be something behind it, or I'll just have a lot of iron. And if it's not this iron deposit, I assume it's the other one. I guess while we're drilling through, we can probably answer one of the questions. And it actually is an apt one, because it kind of is related to what we've just spoke about. So the first question you can see on screen here, how do you imagine a satisfying, sustainable late game experience? And the simple answer is, I don't know. It really depends on how progression in Space Engineers 2 works. Clearly, the current idea of progression in Space Engineers 2 is that the game will start off simpler than Space Engineers 1 does, and slowly introduce additional mechanics over time, and eventually overtaking the complexity of Space Engineers 1, presumably in the mid-game, where water is a mechanic that we know will be much more complex than anything we had in Space Engineers 1, and that Byblos, the water planet, will have something deep in the oceans of it. What that will be currently we do not know, and we know that there'll be a pressure simulation that will crush down on your ship, so you have to build a ship that can work under high pressure. But how that will function in the late game is really a question of how will the entire progression work in the game. I am confident that Keen has an idea on how they want it to work, as the fact that sectors and contracts exist to begin with suggests that far more thought is being put into it compared to Space Engineers 1. But will that system be satisfying and sustainable? For most people, probably, but I've spent enough time in this community to know that it is almost impossible to please everyone. So I'm sure there will still be an element of making your own fun, as with Space Engineers 1. I don't think it's this iron deposit. Do you know what I should do? This would be a good idea. What does this require? Irons, copper, and silicon. I have that. Copper, silicon, and iron. Inventory full. You see that I was able to craft with the backpack building, but this requires compressors, which require an assembler. So checkmate, backpack builder deniers. Just haven't played the game enough. Oh, there's another iron deposit. Okay, so is there one inside the asteroid? Oh no, did I waste my time? Right, is it behind this deposit then? I don't really want to drill through another deposit. Can I just go around it? Is my ship big enough to fit through the gap made by my drill? It doesn't look like it. I guess I don't have to worry about damaging my ship moving 2 centimeters. Is there somewhere we can get closer behind this? If it's behind this iron deposit, can I like drill over here somewhere? I tell you what, just the fact that I have to find this place alone is more complex than every other contract I've done so far. Right, so there's an iron deposit here, right? And that's embedded inside the asteroid. So if I start mining this now, is it going to be behind this one instead? Or am I going to come out the other side of the asteroid and be extremely disappointed? I don't understand. Oh. What the hell? No way was this here the whole time. Did I just miss this? You can't see me, but I'm facepalming so hard right now. Oh my god. I found the place! Right, I've got to destroy 2 gear forges and a refinery. Might as well collect the components while I'm here. I'm sure I'll need them at some point. It's a way down there. Oh, this place is bigger than I expected. Or is this just the other way? Okay, so this is the other way. There's also something through there. Very interesting. I actually like this. So this door is locked. And we are in. Gravity generator. A feature I really like about the gravity generator is it has a button on the front to turn it off. There's a couple of blocks like that in Space Engineers 2. Toilet, no functionality. Curious. So I need to destroy this gear forge, but I don't have enough inventory space. And I'm not going to lie, I would kind of like to keep all the resources. Right, I've had to jury rig a horrible looking cargo container onto the side of my ship for more storage. And it will still be like an hour to get my ship out of the hole. But that should mean we can now collect some of these resources. Right, that's 1 gear forge destroyed. Gear forge number 2. And then I want to quickly look at what the refinery is able to create. Uranium, magnesium bar, a bunch of different stuff. Obviously, this will all change when the progression is overhauled to be how it's supposed to be. Currently, the progression in the game is a temporary one. If you look on the map, you can see that the Verger sector only has half the resources, and the Chemic sector has all of the resources. In the future, these resources will be more spread out, rather than be localized to this sector having half of them, and then all the other sectors having all of them. To give you a reason to actually explore the map and visit all the different locations and stuff. I don't actually need anything the refinery has, though, at the moment. So we will just take all the blocks off of it for now. But at least you have the resources to build it again in the future if we need to. And we are now full again. Yippee! Luckily, there's space to put a horrible cargo container on the other side as well. Right, and bam! Inventory full. Contract finished. I'm going to make the executive decision to decide I don't need that 1 remaining steel plate. And I'm going to make my way the hell out of here, if I can remember the way. I can't remember if it's public knowledge or not, but I have been told something very funny about safe zones in Space Engineers 2 after the last video I made on them. Let's just say, after me slamming to the station repeatedly, there's a change coming to them to stop you doing that. But they haven't implemented it yet, so it's still fair game. Whee! I just realized that's 1 contract and that's taken me 40 minutes. It must have been 10 minutes for me to fly back and get the components I needed to build the drill, and then another 20 minutes messing around trying to find where the location was. That's definitely not a very good sign. But anyway, Sabotage is complete. We unlock production blocks tier 2, which I'm assuming is the refinery, gas production tier 2, and hybrid movement, which looks like hydrogen thrusters. So complete. And there you go, contract completed, colonization progress achieved. Right, engineering, asteroid expedition. Science team found an interesting asteroid, presumed to be hollow inside. Help them build a mining ship to reach the center and assist with any other tasks they have for you. And this looks like it unlocks the med bay, a bigger gyroscope, and bigger landing gear. I imagine this is one of those examples. Oh, wrong way again. I imagine this is one of the examples of contracts that will, in the future, have NPCs at them, and rather than just getting... Oh, did I not actually accept it? Yeah, I should probably accept the contract. As I was saying, rather than the objectives just being things that appear on your UI, you'll instead have NPCs tell you what they want, which I'm looking forward to seeing how NPCs work, as we currently know very little of how they will function in Space Engineers 2. So, as we're on our flight, let me load up my questions. So this is the second highest comment. Are Keen planning on having all of the functional blocks that have been added to SE1 over the years be part of the launch version of SE2? So are we going to have the event controller, timer blocks and stuff like that at launch? And if not, has there been word on which of these blocks will come next? Well, I can tell you that this week, as recording, so last week for you, that the event controller and the timer block were both announced to be coming in the update after the next one. So next update is 2.2. The update after that one is 2.3. So those two will definitely be coming very soon. We know that Space Engineers 2 started development around the release of Warfare 2, so I would imagine that every block that was in the game at the release of Warfare 2 will be in Space Engineers 2 at the end of release, presuming the block isn't superseded by something else. The event controller obviously wasn't in the game at Warfare 2, it came after that. That came... was that in Automatons or before Automatons? That came later regardless. So I think it's a very safe set to say that most of the blocks that were in Space Engineers 1 will probably make their way into Space Engineers 2. The only blocks I would suggest that won't make their way into Space Engineers 2, at least at release, are the food blocks that were added in the last update, and probably any cosmetic blocks, as I imagine they'll probably want to redo all of those in the new art style, or just make new ones. We know that cosmetic blocks like the neon tubes are going to be base game, so maybe a lot of those will end up base game as well. Alright, we are nearly there. I hope I'm not going to turn around and hit the asteroid. I am. I imagine this one is going to be fairly straightforward. Oh, look at this coming in. How smooth, apart from the fact I hit it. I need to stop my comedic timing. Finish the mining ship. So they want me to weld up 2 drills. That might be an issue. And cockpit, battery, and ion thruster. Well, let's just grab all my components because I've got quite a few, and we'll see what we can do without mining. Can't wait for build planner, chat. It's one done. I need ion chambers for that. That's done. I need more compressors. I need glass. I don't think I have any glass. What does glass need, out of curiosity? Silicon. So I can probably just grab some silicon and do the cockpit. And I need one more compressor and 3 ion chambers. So I'm going to have to assemble that. That's fine. See, guys, backpack building doesn't let you build everything. So I need 1 compressor, and where are the ion chambers? 3 ion chambers. That needs nickel, copper, and gold. I have nickel and copper, definitely. I don't think I have any gold. Let's have a look. Nickel, copper, no gold. Okay, so we'll have to mine some gold. That's fine. Let's put this in here. So grab that. Grab my nickel back. Right, just the gold. Right, I'm assuming there's some gold here somewhere. Right, 4,000 gold. That should be more than enough. Should I get 5,000? Might as well. That little indicator on the UI is one of my favorite parts of Space Engineers 2. It's such an amazing quality of life feature. Right, grab some gold. Right, there you go. 3 ion chambers. Let's take those out. And let's weld up this ship. There you go. Objective complete. What's the next step? Excavate the asteroid and reach the anomaly. Ooh. Oh, I guess we'll take their ship to do it. It's probably a lot better than the one I've got. Does it want me to mine there? Let's not make the same mistake we made last time and mine in the wrong place. Or does it want me to mine at that marker? Zero's Legion, once again, overthinking extremely simple quests. Oh. Objective complete. We need to investigate this more closely. Unfortunately, one of our scientists crashed our science ship. Please locate it, fix it, and then bring it to the anomaly. The scientist remembers entering a cave near an iron deposit. Oh no, not this again! Oh, we actually have a marker to the scientist. Oh, that's lucky. Here, chaps, have your mining ship back. I don't want that anymore. Makes me feel emasculated. Right, so where is this iron deposit? It's down here. Oh, at least we found the cave this time. I don't really fancy reversing my ship out of here, so let's just have a look first. Okay, so here's the ship. Motors, electronic parts, and glass. I think glass was silicon, wasn't it? And bam. Chat, what am I missing? Is it the things in the way? Fix the cockpit. There you go. Keep the cockpit intact. So maybe you can fail these quests. Right, let us dock this to my ship. We can take them both over. And because of the automatic docking, if I get close, we should automatically dock. But clearly for some reason that's not working. Okay. It docks if I do it that way around. Maybe it's because it's not my ship. I'm not allowed to automatically dock. We're learning new things every day. We just have to remember where we put the hole. It was over here. That looks like a hole. Evidently not. Lesson to everyone. Leave markers. Right, I've found the hole now, which is good. Unfortunately... Oh, there it is. I say, apparently there's no antenna on my ship either. I'm just going to quickly rectify that. Nearly there. Let's fly through this little gap. Smash into the side of the rock. Perfect. And there we go. Contract finished. Right. Good times. Here we go. It's not going to be as fun if they take that out. Oh well. Ah, look at my lovely driving, chat. You wouldn't get this anywhere else. That's all I'm saying. I think I've wedged myself into a railing, but yep, perfect. So I'll just leave it there. You guys have fun with that. Restoration tier 2, gyroscope tier 2, grid control tier 2. Complete. Contract complete. 2 more contracts. Uranium mine incident and hydrogen production facility. I thought there was going to be some contracts down on the planet, but it looks like they're all in space. Uranium mine has been upgraded with a reactor when a power surge damaged the electrical systems across the facility. Repair the damaged systems, build a reactor, and search the mine for uranium to fuel it. Easy peasy. I am a well-known nuclear engineer. Wrong way. So as with all contracts, this one is a bazillion miles away, 42 kilometers, or just about. So I guess that gives us time for another question. Will there be oil? And if there ever is, what do you think it'll be used for? Well, the developers have spoke about oil actually, so this is a topic that is quite easy to answer. It won't be coming as part of early access. During early access, the only fluid we are going to get is water, but the developers have said that lava and oil are 2 things that would be quite easy to add, and they are interested in adding both. The developers actually went into quite a long discussion about oil specifically, because as the water has pressure, that means that if oil was underground and you were able to breach underground, it would then, because of the high pressure, come spurting out, like how it does when you breach oil in real life. So it definitely seems like something the developers would be interested in adding. What would it be used for? As with everything, that depends on how progression would work in Space Engineers 2. But I would personally prefer it to focus on plastic and other materials made from oil, as opposed to just making it another fuel source like a lot of other games do. I'm not saying don't do fuel, just to make it more interesting than just an elaborate fuel source. Uranium. Delicious. Judging by the amount of resources here, I assume we're going to have to do quite a bit of mining. We will see shortly. Right, tech's not loaded. Battery 1, 2, 3, and 4. Repair the batteries across the facility. Right, let's have a look. Sometimes you can nick components from these, although that is ice, and you can use those components to repair the facilities. We also have an assembler here, so that will obviously need to be used. Here is one of our batteries. Iron and silicon. I guess that's probably the only thing we're probably going to need, he says, turning around and finding a locker with all the resources he needs in it. I understand why for the early game areas specifically, why they want to have all the resources nearby, but I'm still immensely interested in what will happen in the mid to late game. I can't find my way out. And if the resources will not be available and you will have to go and find them yourself, rather than all the resources you need just being a short walk away from the contract. Right, that's another battery done. The other two seem to be much deeper into the facility. So it looks like we need to go upstairs and then right. Definitely appears we've not been this way before. That's a glass window. Oh, it's a nice big underground area here. Right, another battery. There's another one up here. Right, that's all the batteries done. I think find the reactor was the next step, wasn't it? Or will be. Oh no, repair the conveyors. These just require iron. What do they require? Oh, just a ton of steel tubes. Grab my steel tubes, grab my steel plates, and done. Oh, there's a lot of sections that need repairing. Press steel plates. If only there was somewhere we could get steel plates from. Steel plates again. Obviously, I would imagine that in the future they're also going to stop you from just destroying their base in order to do stuff. 2 more here. Contract finished. Oh, did it not say part of the contract to put uranium in the reactor? Well, here is the uranium. Take some with us. It's a small amount, you know. It might be valuable. Oh no, uranium's green. I'm not sure how I feel about that one, Chief. Well, bye guys. Oh. I genuinely want to know who put an asteroid above there. Right, let's try that again. I thought we should do. One there, one there. You know, just a couple more as like a safety measure. And with this, with a little bit more thrust in all directions, my horrible jury-rig ship. So hopefully, in future, we should have less incidents. We will see. Whee! So complete this one. This unlocks a bunch of stuff. And then hydrogen production facility. A critical hydrogen production facility in the sector sustained damage. Resume the hydrogen production by repairing the damaged conveyor lines and hydrogen tanks. Easy peasy. Looks like we get the large reactor. I presume that's a bigger drill? I can't really tell. That's the fabricator. So that's the last production block. And that looks like larger ion thrusters. Oh, don't forget to accept it. I'm guessing as to when this game released from early access, there were only 2 sectors. You can probably unlock all of the blocks within the 2 sectors that were originally there. So whilst there's 2 additional sectors after this, I'm guessing you potentially don't unlock any blocks there. I have also just noticed that originally I planned to do all of the new contracts in this video, including the ones in the Helionis and Obliviara sector, but we are currently 2.5 hours in, and I don't think that's happening, Chief. Maybe we'll do a separate video for Helionis and Obliviara. Looks like my extra thrusters are coming in handy at slowing down. This time it looks like we won't slam into an asteroid, although we are coming in at quite a bit of speed. But I have faith that we will slow down before we get there. Looks at the camera. Alright, hydrogen production facility. Repair the yellow line, repair the white line, repair the blue line. Okay, sounds simple enough. We know that it is just iron to repair conveyors, I think, at the moment. Let's just grab a ton of iron and see what we can do. White line is at the top, so we'll start with the white line. And then we wait until it goes to functional and don't add those extra plates in so we're not wasting materials. I think it's 70%. Yep. There you go. Trying to edge it. Oh, I did put an extra plate in that one, never mind. That's the white line done. And so what we can do? We can do a little secret plan. These have steel tubes in them, so if we just grind these down, we can get enough steel tubes to repair. They fixed all of our pipelines, but we've got no ratings left. Oh, that's crazy. Ah, that's what we want. The cubes. And that's that done. And it's so much faster to weld up a block using components rather than backpack building. He says, unable to weld up a block. I'm assuming this probably goes indoors. Yes, it does. Oh, I'm guessing we'll have to repair those tanks in a second. And those require heavy duty plates. And what do we know about heavy duty plates? They require an assembler. They need to extend the welding distance, I reckon, to about here, because this is too far away, I agree, but this, I feel like you have to get way too close at the moment. You need to pull it back like a little bit. Right, that's the blue line done, and let me guess, repair the tanks. Oh, no, O2H2 generators, not what I expected. Our compressors are going to be the killer here because they require assembly. They need magnesium powder as well. Although it looks like around the base, they give you a lot of compressors, so hopefully that shouldn't be too bad. Oh, we need steel plates. Well, there's iron right here, so I'll just mine some iron quickly. Right, so I think all of them just require magnesium powder now, which is fine because I can see magnesium over there. Does magnesium look like this in real life? I didn't actually check how much we need, so I'll just grab 500. I'm sure that'll be enough. So I get magnesium ore. Is that something I can backpack build? Evidently it is. That's them done. And now the next part is going to be build those 4 tanks. I've got destroyed debris as well. Okay. We have some heavy duty plates. I'm just going to make sure I grab those. That should save us some time. Heavy duty for the 23. That's not going to be enough, so we're going to have to find an assembler, which I think was in the other place. Actually, that one's functional. Oh, so we might have enough. I think you actually only needed 1. Let's see what our debris are through here. Ah. I'm guessing these have heavy duty plates in them. Okay. Nice. Once again, I am asking for an extended grinding range because I feel like I'm close enough here. Contract complete. I'm hoping, touch wood, that the next one will be down on Chemic, because I said I wanted to go down there and the game was like, haha, no. I love seeing Delphos in the distance. It's so good, the way it's always there. I know they've got the killing field thing. I'm still convinced that we're going to be able to go there at some point. I don't know what you would do there, but I feel it in my bones. Right, complete. And now, it's in space again. Is there really no contracts down on Chemic? Engineering comm station upgrade. We are upgrading the communication station to enable connection to other stations on the fast travel network. Please find the station and finish construction of the relay stations around the asteroid. Once this is complete, you should spend some time building for yourself while you wait for the other sectors to get their upgrades done. And that unlocks a big gyroscope and it appears all of the big thrusters. So I imagine that'll be the last blocks that we can unlock. Right, you ready? 50-50 chance of being in the right direction. Oh, we got it! Yay! The fact that there's no contracts down on the Chemic planet reinforces my idea that the contracts that are in the game currently are not complete, and that they will obviously be changed in the future. And I've just realised that I've got here, and I was supposed to answer a question. So let's see what it asks us to do, and if it's something menial, I will answer a question during that. Finish construction of the control seat on the station. Okay. I assume once I construct this, it's going to ask me to do something more complex, so I'll just do that quickly. Steel plates, electronic parts, and wire. Once again, I humbly request a build planner. Cool. And now what? Construct solar panels and batteries on the relay station. From memory, it's silicon and iron for solar panels, so that should be pretty much all I need. So I've never really thought about this before, but when you search in Space Engineers 2, it only shows the items you search for. So if I search magnesium, it just shows me magnesium. Obviously a basic thing, but you know, it's the small things like that that just make Space Engineers much easier to play. Oh, this is a big battery. 1 motherboard, wire, and heavy duty plates. So I'm going to lump 2 questions into one whilst I get the materials to do this. So the questions are, if you could make a cosmetic DLC, what would it be and what style would you go for? And do you think there'll be cosmetic options DLC like in Space Engineers 1? And do you think they'll bring any of said cosmetics over from SE1 as base game? So I don't think they will bring anything directly over from SE1 because graphically it is not up to par with Space Engineers 2, and additionally it doesn't fit the art style of Space Engineers 2. But we've already seen that neon tubes, which were a DLC block in Space Engineers 1, will be making their way to Space Engineers 2 as a base game block. So I would suggest that anything that isn't a cosmetic variant, so that is a cosmetic block but is a unique block, not a retexture of an assembler or something, is probably a safe bet to make its way to Space Engineers 2. Not a guarantee, but it could happen. And do you think we will get cosmetic options in DLC like in Space Engineers 1? Yes, but we are a long way off of that. They're definitely going to finish the game's early access first, which the game will take another 1 to 2 years to be complete. And then after that, I would imagine they start considering DLC, but definitely not during early access. I can guarantee that much. But as I said, there were 2 questions. If you wanted to make a cosmetic DLC, what would it be? I quite like the idea. This doesn't have to be Space Engineers 1 or 2, but I quite like the idea of a jerry-rigged block set. So everything in Space Engineers 1 is obviously quite clean, quite clinical. It's clearly built, you know, to be the thing that it is. I would quite like a set of blocks, probably some thrusters, probably atmospheric, and maybe like a hydrogen engine, even though I don't like that block, that look like they've been put together from scrap and spare parts. Kind of like a Mad Maxy sort of vibe where it's all been like jury-rigged together to actually, you know, function. I think that would be quite cool. Obviously, you don't need to cover every single block. I can't imagine you can have a jury-rigged spaceship, although the Millennium Falcon is literally a jury-rigged spaceship, so what do I know? But I think that would be kind of a cool set of blocks and maybe a texture that we could get. That makes your ship look like it's been assembled out of scrap and stuff. Like an Iron Man Mark 1 sort of feeling. So, motherboard requires copper and gold. So, let's give that a go. I've said before, I love that it has the timer at the top. It's incorrect, but I love that it's there. And you know what? If we do another one of these, I'm going to build a proper ship. Ta-da! There's some interfering with communications. Check communications tower. And if there are any unknown antennas, remove those. Someone may be eavesdropping on our communications. How dare they? That's not what I expected the next step to be, but it's definitely more interesting than mining copper for 20 minutes. You know what, guys? I cannot wait until there are factions in Space Engineers 2. It's going to be so good. Imagine having the sector system, but with faction warfare. Oh, I cannot wait. Right, contract finished. Let us return to base. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, perfect. Right, contract terminal complete. Contract complete. Colonization progress achieved, and then it's going to say Quebec sector colonized. Yay! And here we are. We've unlocked the Oplavara station. So let us get into our ship. Go to map, click Oplavara station, and fast travel. And we can see we're winding up at the top, and boop, we have a new station. Let's have a little quick look. So it looks like there'll be 2 contracts here. As you can see, completing this one gives you 50% progress in this sector, suggesting 2. And I assume 2 contracts at the Helionis sector, which has appeared on our map now. But I think we'll save that for the future. If you'd like to see me do the contracts in the Oplavara and Helionis sector, obviously don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see that. And also, as I said earlier, if you'd like a question answered, please leave a comment below that is clearly labelled with question in all caps at the beginning, and we will potentially answer the top ones in the next video. And additionally, if you want to go the extra mile and support this channel, you can become a YouTube member or a Patreon with the links in the description below.